got a nickel for every time I would ask this question, probably be a millionaire by now. I run a business, I lead teams, I plan events, I create content, I have administrations, all while being a first-class student. Sounds crazy, right? Or maybe not. I want to share something with us today that probably is counterintuitive to what we think. Many people think that balance is 50-50, how to do everything in equal amounts, but that really is not what it is. So if you want to find out, stick around till the end. Let me explain. Most people think that balance is 50-50. How you have a number of tasks to do and you have to do them in equal amounts. That's why 24 hours never seems like a lot of time. But at the end of the day, that is a lie. You would have to prioritize certain tasks based on the importance and the urgency per time and per season. And what I mean by that is sometimes it's going to be 80-20, 60-40. Rarely is it ever 50-50. Having this at the back of your mind is going to help you, prioritize your task and balance your time as you ought to. So for example, during exams, I usually shut off almost everything, maybe because I'm not reading throughout the semester, but I usually shut off almost everything and I'm focusing on that. And as soon as I'm done with that, I go back to the things that I normally do, creating content, my business, and all these type of things. All right. So priority really is the key secret to everything. But I know that you can't always live your life like this. So here are 3 things that have helped me balance my time and manage every single task that I have. Let's dive in. The first and the major thing, and really this is what guides my life, it is living intentionally. So many times I see a lot of people my age, younger, older in fact, that really just go with the flow. So they wake up and everything just seems routine to them. So they wake up, they shower, maybe they have their devotion, whatever the case is, and then they go about their day. You go for classes, their events, you go for that, you talk to your friends, you come back to the room, and it's the same cycle every single day. And you wonder why you don't have your tasks in order. So the key thing to do is to live intentionally. The first question that you ask yourself is, who is the kind of person that I want to become? This is the primary question, and it's what's going to set you up for everything that you're going to do. And the reason is because living intentionally does not just mean things like reading books, or having deep work sessions. All of these things are good, but then living intentionally is that you're doing the exact things that you need to do to get you from where you are to the person that you want to be. Meaning that if there's no destination, then there's probably not a series of tasks that you need to do or that you have to do, right? So it's asking yourself this thing and having a proper understanding of the kind of person that you want to be is going to define the things that you're going to be doing. So I've said it before in some video, and something that I tell a number of people. Most of the activities that I currently do, so someone asked me, if I could head a committee, as it were. Chances are high that I'm not going to head a committee that has very little to do, with what I want to become or the kind of person that I want to become, because everything I do has to, in some way, some manner, align to the end goal. Having a purpose, a sense of purpose in mind is really what's going to set you up for balancing your life and, doing your tasks. So the primary thing to do here is find out the person that you want to become, and anything that divert you away from that by a landslide, you cut that off almost immediately. So let's go over to the next. The second point is cut off distraction. You see many times, and I used to be like that. I would always complain how there is no time in the day to do all the things that I want to do. I have classes, I need to run errands, so that's maybe when I'm at home and all these type of things. There's not just enough time. So you hear a lot of people say, I wish there were more hours in the day and all the rest. And I have something that I always tell myself, like, if there were more hours in the day, would I still be able to complete all the tasks that I'm doing with the kind of lifestyle that I'm living? And that's the question that you have to ask yourself, because you always say that, or a number of people always say that there's no time and all the rest, but then pick up your phone, like you can even do that right now, so pick up your phone, go to settings, and just check your screen time. And I remember the first time I actually did it a couple years ago, and I was shocked as to what I saw. So I was watching a video and I saw some calculation on there, right? So if you're using your phone for 7 hours a day, in a week, that's 49 hours, right? And then you can think of it, maybe that's 2 days. Yes, that's 2 days. But then the time that you're using your phone, we're not using your phone when you're sleeping. So it means you're using your phone for 49 waking hours. That's almost 4 days. Right, that's almost 4 days that you could be doing really, really productive stuff. And even if you go about your day, so this is another task that you could do. So on a random day, have a small book with you, or a pen, or maybe your phone, in fact. And every sort of like major activity that you do, write that down inside of it. And at the end of the day, look at it. You can do this for about 2-3 days. And then what you're going to find out is there seem to be a number of things that you're doing that are absolutely useless. Like don't add anything whatsoever to the kind of person that you want to become. Whether that's your screen time or doom scrolling, on TikTok, Instagram, whatever the case is, or just spending time with people and just talking about things that you don't even, need, and all the rest. The idea basically is to identify these things, because I've come to understand that if there's no tracking, if there's no metric or whatever it is that you're using to identify some of these things, then you're never going to be able to curb them, right? You don't know how much you're using your phone till you actually check. And I do this for my friends from time to time. I just ask them, what exactly is the screen time? Just check it. And I tell them to guess, before they open it up. And their guesses are like very, very different, right? So what they eventually see seems to be more surprising to them. So cut off distraction, identify the distraction and cut it down. So currently, of course, sometimes I still fall off, but I try to keep my screen time between 1 to 2 hours, every single day, just to make sure that I'm spending my time doing things that actually, matter to me. And as much as possible, I'm reducing and cutting off everything that is going to hold me or stop me from becoming the person that I want to become. And my final tip is have a daily schedule. You've heard this time and time again, but the truth is simple. If you don't plan your day is going to plan you. If you don't have things that you want to do in the day, then you find out that you're doing everything, and if you're doing everything, then you're doing nothing. So have a list of things that you want to do. See, and something that a number of people ask me, I remember when I was in 100 level, so maybe about 2-3 years ago, I used to do something. So I would wake up in the morning, prepare my to-do list, and I would post it on my WhatsApp status. Right, so people got worried and everything, like, why are you doing that? It was just to be accountable and to, help some people as they were, right? But then a number of people got worried and were saying things like, doesn't that mean you are now, making your day or your life as it were robotic, right? If you have these sets of things that you have to do every single day, and that's not really the idea. The idea is not to turn you into a robot or to, remove spontaneity and all the rest. The idea primarily is to have structure. That's really what it is. So what I do, and maybe I do advise it, but you don't have to get this extreme, is I have like a calendar where every single one of my tasks are timed, right? So from this to this, I have things that I need to do. So, Google Calendar, and it's sort of like the same almost every single week, except for, some differences or lapses here and there. But then generally, each hour of the day, there's almost something I'm meant to be doing. Sometimes it's resting, so it's not like I'm always working like 24/7 or whatever the case is. But then what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't even have to be that extreme. It could be as simple as waking up in the morning, journaling, and then maybe writing, top 5 things that you want to do that day, right? That's going to get you closer to the person that you want to become. And having this down, in fact, just writing this down is going to psychologically help you get closer to your goal, because you probably already know what you want to do in that day. And what probably happens is that you keep that in your head and say, okay, I remember what I need to do and all these type of things. But then writing it down already is going to get you closer to your goal. So having to do list, or a schedule, whatever it is that floats your boat, as it were. I created a detailed video on how you can prepare your ideal week. So, it's the ideal method. It basically will teach you how to, plan your day and how to be able to get all the tasks, maybe like a ×2 or a more detailed version of this video. So you can watch it somewhere. It will be somewhere on the screen, right? But then have a to-do list. It could be 3 to 5 things that you want to do that day that's going to get you closer to the person that you want to become. And just doing that every single day, even if you're not achieving every single thing. But if you have 3 to 5 things, chances are high that you have enough time to do those 3 to 5 things. And one thing that I think is extremely important to say here is, maybe you have more than 5 things. If you're like, myself, or even like a random, teenager or young adult that's trying to make it in life and all the rest, you probably have a number of things that you want to do. But then the way that I write it down is I just write them down. So I break down all the things that I want to do that particular day, and I start prioritizing them. So what I mean is, so I used to use Notion before, but now I use a physical journal, and sort of makes me happier, right? So like crossing it out. But so I use a physical journal now, and what I do is after I break down all the things that I want to do that day, I then start to put numbers behind them. So so say maybe I put read a book here, and then what I put maybe somewhere around here was maybe prepare a sermon, as it were, right? So say I want to prepare the sermon first, I'm going to put number 1, put number 2 there. So when I open it throughout the day, because I have like a really small book, it's not with me here, but I have a really small book, and I take it with me like almost everywhere. Watch my mouth, but I take it with me almost everywhere. So I'm like looking and flipping through that, maybe every hour or every 3 hours and all the rest. And I'm saying, okay, this is number one, this is what I'm meant to do next, what I'm meant to do next, in order of priority. So even if I get to the end of the day and I don't complete everything, the idea is that the things that are going to move the needle for me are the things that I put first. So even if I do those 3 to 5 things every single day and I don't get all the tasks done, of course, if I don't get all the tasks done, it means that probably I have to carry them over and all these type of things. But at the end of the day, I just will eventually get to my goal at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter, as it were, because I'm always doing the things that matter most, right? So it's not always about doing the things that are the hardest or doing the things that are the easiest to keep you going. The idea basically is to do the things that would move the needle for you. If you do every other task besides the needle moving task, you would have done stuff, but at the end of the day, there would be no real progress that would be made. Listen, I don't have everything figured out. Nobody does. At least I think. In fact, earlier today I was writing in my journal how it seems like this week has been so hectic in terms of doing my goals and everything. Like my 12-week year progress, like these week's goals, they're shambles, really. So it's not every single time that I'm on top of my game and everything, but then there's something that I've come to understand. If you attempt to master discipline, master consistency, master living intentionally, then you're most likely going to outpace every other person, because nobody's doing these things. Nobody's trying to live intentionally. At least nobody's doing it at the level in which you desire to do it. So even just taking that step is going to put you ahead of a number of people. So if you made it this far, then it obviously means, I think, that you're interested in this type of content. So make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'll see you in the next video. And also, don't forget the ideal method video. It's going to help you plan your life. And if you like this video, then you're going to like that even much more. Make sure to take action. I'm rooting for you. Take care.